good morning, and good night. Thanks again for downloading the Body Snatchers podcast. And when you listen, stream, or download straight to your device, CastBox is your best option. Remember, if you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and comment. So let's get started. Enjoy the show.
All right, guys, good morning and good night. Thank you for choosing the Body Snatchers podcast. Tino here, hanging out with Gia and Ethan from the Kells Show. Today, we're going to be discussing Detective Pikachu. It's been out a few days. We did do a show recently, just kind of discussing the preview and what we were expecting to see or not see, which was a lot of fun. But, now we've all seen it. We're here. We're ready to discuss. I'd also like to point out before we dive into this that they were giving out Pokemon cards at the local movie theaters. I got some and Ethan got some, and apparently Gia looked too old to get any.
First of all, I look younger than you. When people look at both of us, they go, oh, look at that 35-year-old man and that 23-year-old woman. And I'm just like, man, thanks. Second of all, I am rather frustrated because I bought my tickets on Fandango and I went in and checked in and they did not hand me any cards. And then the next day I started seeing all of my friends here in California posting pictures of these, these card packs that they got. And I even had the displeasure of seeing that my older brother got some too. And I was like, I'm reblocking you on my secondary profile. Thanks. Okay, thanks.
You probably had a migraine. You know how you get if you don't take your prune juice before you go to the theater. You probably had that sour face when you walked in.
No, I was wearing my Pikachu onesie and Brand was in a Pikachu hat and we were happy-go-lucky. They didn't even give him one.
All right, I'll tell you what, guys. For the fans, everybody take the Pokemon cards that you got and just touch the microphone with them.
Press F
One,
for
two,
press F for respect.
Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. You guys feel that? You know what? I haven't even opened mine yet. So Gia has a visual of me.
Nah, it's minimized. I can't see you.
It's okay. I can read off to you what I got. I hope I got.
I've already seen them all.
I hope I got a holographic in here.
They're all holographic.
Oh, I got Detective Pikachu, which was a given.
There's like 3 different Detective Pikachus, though. Which one you got?
I got all 3 of them.
I got more than you. And Bulbasaur.
Oh.
So interesting. All right. So now that that's out of the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Follow our Instagram page, Body Snatchers Media, youtube.com/Body Snatchers Media, and of course, our main website, bodysnatchersmedia.com. Listen to the audio podcast and all that good stuff. We're happy to have you. Let's talk. So who would like to kick this thing off?
Bro, this movie was awesome. First of all, it opened up with dude trying to not be lonely with a lonely Cubone, and that Cubone wasn't having any of his stuff, and I laughed so hard.
Well, Tim made the mistake of referencing his mother. Oh, by the way,
right.
Spoilers, major spoilers. We got so excited. There's gonna be spoilers. So don't feel bad if you caught that.
Warning.
That happens in the first 5 minutes.
Pika.
Our bad.
It's okay. If you chose to watch this and you didn't read the big old thing, the big text box that says warning spoilers, then it's your own fault.
English might not be their first language.
We should just write it in multiple languages then.
How about Espanol?
Well, we don't have Steven anymore to do that for us.
He was a very bad Mexican anyways. All right, okay. Well,
What about Japanese?
And I can do the Korean.
we'll figure it out. I got Google Translate. So, yeah, I mean, he brought up Cubone's mother. Like, he hurt his feelings. Come on.
It was so funny because when it all started, his best friend's like, hey, bro, yeah, this Cubone's perfect for you. And Tim's like, why? Because we're both lonely. And he's like, I mean, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So
So
started off great.
as much as I would love to only hone in on specific moments, I think it'd be best to kind of approach this movie.
Nah, we had to hone in on that one, but now we can talk about the rest.
We'll come back to all your specifics. I think everybody's got a couple of them. Let me say this. I think I was a little bit surprised. I thought that this movie was going to have a little bit better balance for trying to reach children as well as adults. I think like the cutesy factor was there, where kids who are in the Pokemon might be somewhat interested. But I feel like this movie was mostly geared for the Pokemon fans who've grown up is how it felt.
So I think that's just because as adults, we can see the adult humor in kids' movies now. But Bram was completely taken with the movie. He did not ask to go to the bathroom. He did not ask if it was almost done yet. And this is rare for him. Like the last movie that he did that on was probably Big Hero 6 when I took him to see it when he was like 2 years old. And he fell asleep.
Okay, and that's good to hear because I went with my two nephews One is almost 5 and the other one is almost 10. And the 10-year-old, I mean, he was with it. He was into it. He loved it. But the one that was a little bit younger, granted, maybe he was just a little bit too young, but he was like, if it's something flashy, some cool CGI stuff wasn't on the screen, he just wasn't as into the adult dialogue, which I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. But I mean, overall, like, you know, at least for our standpoint, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it.
I did.
Yes, definitely. It had a great baseline for showing off. Like, they can actually make a Pokemon movie with making it look real.
Yep.
The whole time I was like geeking out, like, oh my god, it's Charizard. Oh my god, it's like it's picking out all these Pokemon.
Yeah, the only complaint that I actually have with this is that Tim, and I can't remember the girl's name. Is it Laura, or it was some generic girl name?
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't know, but they both had really, really cringy dialogue. Like, there were some points where I was like, please just stop talking. Just let this scene move on to the next scene. Like, when she was coming down the stairs and she's like, I'm going to be the greatest reporter ever. And it's just like, all right, please stop.
Okay.
Like, and?
Great.
But her Psyduck was point on, especially when he made Pikachu rub his feet to keep him calm.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Quote unquote.
Very funny. And the fact that he brought it back up again later, like I didn't forget, bro. Like, never happened. You know, but going off what Ethan was saying, I think that this movie is really important, not because like the movie itself, you know, I didn't really care. As long as it didn't fail, you know, and it didn't do that at all. It made a decent amount of money, and it's honestly kind of the first of its kind, I guess you could say.
Yep.
You can look at it as being sort of like an anime adaptation if you want to, but it's really not that. It's its own thing. And I think that this is going to open up doors for a lot of other movies. And I also think it's going to set the bar for things like, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, which, you know, nobody really knows how that's going to go. It's not looking great, but, you know, we won't know till it comes out.
Well, to be fair, for all the people going, oh, Sonic's for us because they had Gangster's Paradise. My son, literally, when that showed, because as I've been trying to explain to people, there's a Sonic level pack in LEGO Dimensions, and that's how Bran knows of Sonic the Hedgehog. And like literally, Bran has been watching all of the cartoons that are on Netflix, and when he saw that, he didn't say, "Oh, Sonic looks stupid." He was like, "I want to see that, Mommy. We have to come back and see it." So I guess it appealed to the kids.
That's exactly, you know, what I want, you know, out of something like this. You know, I hope that they do make some minor adjustments, you know, to the CGI, but honestly, like, I didn't think it was all that bad. I don't think it's hold on. I'm not saying that it's perfect, because it's not. But think about all the stuff that they've done with Sonic. We discussed this I actually know on another show I discussed this with Sonic. Yeah, okay, Sonic with Jaleel White voicing him, the original series wasn't too bad. But do you guys remember all the other crap that they've come out with Sonic afterwards? Because it's pretty much been bad all the way through.
Some of the 3D animated stuff was garbage.
Like, remember the second Sonic show that I can recall was Sonic Underground, where he's like on an alien planet, and they kind of tried to reference the comics, but not so much. And he had a brother and sister, and they played musical instruments, and it was more about the instruments and power abilities versus his speed and, you know, what he does. It was just bad. And there's so many iterations of Sonic that have come out over the years that have just been straight trash. This, I mean, to me, felt more like Speed Racer kind of.
Yeah.
You know, so I think kids are gonna like it. Ethan doesn't agree, but he also doesn't have you know, really good opinions. If you check out his Twitch,
get out of here! Get out of here!
Tarkov,
what happened to Anthem? What happened to Anthem?
I still play it, so I don't care.
It does.
And I have a lot of friends that still play it. But going back to Pokemon, there is one complaint, and I told Tino that I was going to bring this up, not about the movie, but about people in general. Please don't be one of those people going, people only went to go see it because Ryan Reynolds, sorry, I messed up his whole voice trying to talk like this dude, but only because Ryan Reynolds, you know, voiced Pikachu. One, that shows me how much you are not a Pokemon fan, because Detective Pikachu has nothing to do with the original Pokemon. Also has really nothing to do, like, it was cool that they brought Ryan Reynolds in to do it, but in the game for Detective Pikachu, that is a Pikachu that can talk. So it's not some brand new idea that they just brought in and went, oh, we need Ryan Reynolds to voice it. Two, I also saw people going, oh, well, when you heard Pikachu's voice, did you think of Ash's Pikachu? Well, no, you shouldn't be thinking of Ash's Pikachu, because it's a different Pikachu. Not every Pikachu in the Pokemon world is Ash's Pikachu. Right? Like, there's a bunch of Pikachu. Like, Red's Pikachu isn't Ash's Pikachu. The Detective Pikachu isn't. Let's Go Pikachu isn't Ash's Pikachu.
And let's just, you know, clear the air real quick. What Gia's saying is 100% accurate. And, you know, I feel Pokemon is hard for me to be a diehard fan, at least at times, just because your casual person is only familiar with the TV series. And the normal TV series, I think, has got to be one of the worst things ever. As a kid, like, yeah, I was kind of with it for a little bit, but it just becomes super redundant, and there's no growth to it, and it's just awful. Now,
Sun and Moon is lit, yo.
I don't know about that. The original.
well, okay, so like Red and Blue and even Green, who was finally revealed, the character that like never made it to America, because back in the day, people didn't think that, you know, that would be marketable. Oh, a girl? Yeah, but Green is a girl, and all those characters are really, really dope, and we know so little about them, but it almost kind of adds to like the depth of them. You know, they're very mysterious, and the stuff that you do see, the dialogue, like it's really good in the video games. Pokemon Origins, which was only 4 or 5 episodes, was
6, I think.
Was it 6? I thought it was 4 or 5.
It was something around then. It was really short. It just chronicled everything Red went through in capturing the Pokemon, and then added in new stuff because obviously Mega Charizard wasn't around at that point. So
correct, but it was great. It was wonderful. And granted, admittedly, I personally never played Detective Pikachu, but I heard a lot of people did enjoy that game. And there's been other games that have come out in the mix. Like, remember the one on N64 where you take the pictures?
Yeah, Pokemon Snap.
And then also Hey You Pikachu on N64 that didn't have anything to do with Ash's Pikachu. Yep. So there's a whole universe that's built around it.
Yeah, you have Mystery Dungeon also. Like if they were to bring that in and make movies out of it, I would be in that seat. And I had to tell that to them. I was like, you can't be like, you guys aren't real Pokemon fans because, you know, you can't relate it to Ash's Pikachu. Because, I mean, there's a lot like just larger...
There's other stories in the Pokemon universe.
Like thank you for wording that. Like there's a whole lot. And I can tell that y'all are only fans of the cartoon. I own almost every single game. Like when I say that, I am dead serious. I even just got like a Japanese version of, I think it was from Blue, from my friend Kurt, who was selling off all of his old like GBA games and GB Color games. Like I went ahead and I bought those because growing up, those were the only games that I've misplaced since then. So there are a lot of games, even on just the regular like timeline for it, going from like Red, Blue, Heart Gold, Gold, Silver, and then to be recreated as Heart Gold, Heart Silver, or Soul Silver, and it just keep on going. Like there's a lot of stuff to pull from.
Facts.
Now,
I wanted to bring this up just because I thought it was an interesting fact that turns out to be true. So there's been a lot of memes going around saying that, Detective Pikachu is going to be the first installment of a Smash Bros. Series.
I heard that.
Yeah, that's been funny.
Which is funny. And they have, the memes have like Samuel Jackson, showing up as Nick Fury. And, at the end of it, they're like, stay for the credits. It's funny to me.
Someone else added to that meme and it's like, how are they going to make a Mario Party game? How's that even going to make sense?
They'll find a way.
That'd be pretty stupid.
If they could get away with the Smash Bros. Movie that they did in the late 80s going into the early 90s, you know what? I think that they could do it now. I think they could get away with it.
It's going to be Mario Kart.
That would upset me.
It'd be like Fast and the Furious. It's going to
be like Mario. Speed Racer, just with all the Mario Kart characters.
I was going to say Little Rascals, but you know what? But getting back, to my point, somebody brought that up to the directors of Detective Pikachu, and they actually made a statement stating that, we hope that this opens doors for something along those lines. We don't necessarily want to do that, and they're not saying that that's going to happen. And I highly doubt, just to put it out there, that something like this would happen from this movie. But they did say that they hope that if it opens, doors and enough curiosity and the money's there, that they would prefer to begin this process by doing a Zelda movie, which I think would be awesome. And there's been a lot of talk about there's been a lot of talk with like Netflix, for instance, trying to get it off the ground, which has had a lot of failures, obviously, but they haven't let it go. It's still, in the pipeline. They're trying to make it happen.
Man, let's just make Majora's Mask and I'll be the Skull Kid dancing around in the dang forest with the mask. Just let me do this. Let me live my life.
Well, all I got to say is, I won't hold my breath, but just to know that this could open up doors for something like that in the future, or at least maybe getting some of these other Nintendo characters, on a big screen with, a decent amount of money done right. I'm with it. I would love a proper Mario.
Oh my God, Star Fox. Oh man.
Just imagine.
Do barrel rolls. Do barrel rolls.
I love that movie so much.
So, Mewtwo.
Mewtwo's a G.
Holy crap, Mewtwo. Boy. And they tied it back. They tied it back to the
original movie.
Yes.
Yep.
They're like, Mewtwo's been living in isolation for X amount of years. You know, before all this happened, he was captured and forced into like making this mystery drug that makes Pokemon go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yep.
Like,
yep, it sure did.
Goosebumps.
I remember crying in that movie too.
Yeah.
It was great, and it was, it opened up the possibility. Granted, you're probably not going to do that with a movie like this, but it just let you know. It was like a nod, like, hey, Ash and all them, like, this stuff went down. And there's another Pokemon movie coming out. Is it this summer? Actually, now that I think about it, they're remaking the original.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, I forgot about that.
The original movie, but in CGI, and it looks freaking amazing. I wonder if they're going to add in a few things, or maybe make a nod back to this movie somehow, some way. I mean, that would just be awesome. I would love that.
Well, maybe they could end it in a way where, like, I don't know, it moves into the direction of Detective Pikachu, like with him going off into isolation and
exactly,
and then getting captured at the end of it.
Yeah,
like an ending credit scene,
like 10 years later, and then he gets ganked.
I would be down with them just bringing up maybe the city that they were in, where like Pokemon and people happen to, work hand in hand more.
Rhyme City?
Yeah. More often than not, or, whatever, or reference the, what was the main antagonist, the name of his whole company?
So, like,
anybody remember offhand?
Damn it.
Was that like Howard Industries or some weird stuff like that?
It was. If not Industries, it had his name in it. It was nothing special.
I thought it was going to be like Silphco, but it was like Howard, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man.
I was like, okay.
And we all wanted the R and the vials to be for Team Rocket, didn't we?
Yes, I did. I was like, where's Team Rocket?
Yeah.
Where's Team Rocket?
Well, they didn't, and I was like, man, I mean, like, I get
Lost
it, but
chance.
like, you could have brought it up, like, I would have been okay, even if you just said there's an organization that is involved with crime.
Howard or Clifford? I just looked it up. I think the dude's last name it was his last name, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they said Howard.
So it's GNN Clifford Enterprises. It was Clifford.
Trash. Howard is a way better name
Howard.
than Clifford.
I just knew the RD at the end, and I just ran with it.
Very, very disappointing.
I just know for a fact, like, them showing like Pokemon battles in the stadium and all that, like, there has to be like, there's gonna have to be a movie about Pokemon battles.
Yes, there is.
And the people came out all corny, like, yeah, I got this Pokeball in my hand. It's like, well, okay.
I mean, but was it not corny in the cartoon or even in the games? You know what I thought was awesome was when they had that Rhydon and freaking Gengar in the underground ring fighting each other. It was a Rhydon, right?
Don't ever disrespect Blastoise like that again.
Blastoise. I was like, wait. I was like, why not?
I'm sorry. That's my bad. I admit it. I can admit I'm wrong. But no, that immediately reminded me of the opening scene for the games. Because
That's exactly what it was. It was great. And it broke my heart to see Blastoise take the L. But Charizard also took an L. So, you know what? Apparently a couple of times.
But did he, though?
Yeah, it's
I mean, he took a L outside of the movie. And then he came back. But did he really take an L?
No,
I mean,
it was
that
like
right?
a full match.
He did kind of take steroids before he went into there.
Yeah, and then Pikachu just couldn't do anything because he couldn't remember how to use his powers.
I can't do it when nobody's looking.
Looked like he was about to poop in the middle of the Coliseum.
Pika. just hilarious. Did you guys expect the movie to have as many feels as it did at the end? Because you know what? Like, I know a lot of
threw me off guard.
Yeah, me too, man. Like the whole Ryan Reynolds thing. Like I was with it. Ryan Reynolds did a really good job, captivating you as Pikachu. And then when they brought it back full circle, like I kind of expected it. The plot wasn't really hard to digest or figure out. But again, we were just speculating. Who knew that it was going to be that wild?
So I did not expect it to be that wild because I don't remember that being the case in the Detective Pikachu games.
Okay.
So I was just expecting it to be just like a weird Pikachu that talks. Like, Meowth is a weird Meowth that talks.
I remember that episode. That was a sad episode.
Yeah.
Very sad, actually.
She sells seashells by the seashore. Teaching himself to talk.
Get out of here, you weirdo. You can't fit in with us normal Pokemon.
I'm sorry. I'm not a real fan because, I totally can't tie Detective Pikachu back to Ash's Pikachu.
It's not that you're not a real fan. It's just you haven't earned enough badges to talk to most people in that tone.
Okay. I mean, if we combine it with all the games that I have, with all the badges that I have, I think I have more than enough. I even used to have those dumb pictures where it's like got service members and they're like, I've been to the gym, and they open up and then they have like all the badges down their top.
Yes.
I did that for a little while just because it was funny to me, and everybody expected it of me because I would literally be sitting around just playing Pokemon at random times. So
I bought mine like for some years, but then I switched to this whole thing where I got emulators, and I am a terrible human being. I mean, for the record, I only downloaded emulators for things that I already owned.
too bad we're not recording a video right now, because I would totally grab off all the games that are literally right behind me to be like, here's my array of everything that I own. And you're just going to show me the cards again?
No, I was fanning myself.
I will get my binder from work. I will get my Detective Pikachu binder. Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu. Okay, I messed up words too. I couldn't say Ryan Reynolds when I was making a funny voice.
Straight up collecting.
After the movie, I went. I took my nephews back to my mother's house, their grandma, and I don't know. I just, after seeing it, I felt some type of way. So I went into her attic and started digging through like some of my old stuff from when I lived there, and I found all wrapped up in the original box. The box is a little bit damaged, but everything's still inside the plastic. My metallic Pikachu. Me and Gia mentioned it. She still has one of hers, or if not all of hers, from the past. But I didn't think I had anything left. So yeah, I found it from Burger King in like from Burger King. From like 99 or 97. Dude, wow. Yeah.
All those little plastic Pokeballs.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, in perfect condition. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
And with that, I have, almost all of the original cards in a binder that's in this closet right here behind me. So
we discussed that last episode, and we already brought up the fact that I got robbed, and I decided to never go back to the Pokemon
I got robbed, but I regained my collection, so.
I didn't get robbed, but I just started collecting them again.
I still collect all the cards. I have like a Guzzlord EX box set in my room that I haven't opened yet. I'm excited. Just gonna hold on to it forever.
Definitely got to move out of Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what else I thought was weird though? Like, I got it, but it felt weird. Is the whole ending of the movie? When Howard swaps minds with when Howard swaps minds with Mewtwo. I don't know. That's just it felt weird because like he could talk like using the telekinesis and all that, but he didn't. Like he was using his mouth and talking like a person, and it just felt weird with Howard's voice. And I was kind of insulted they just took over his body like that. I was like, dude, how dare you disrespect me?
Yeah, they drugged him up first. Like, yo, give me that body though.
Yeah, drug him up and neuralinked him, and then he went out and made everybody their Pokemon. Like he was just being extra petty.
You're a Pokemon.
Everybody's a Pokemon. Okay, Oprah.
He reminded me of like James Woods from Family Guy. Like that's the exact character he reminded me of, where he was just over the top with everything. And I was like, please stop. Like, please just let Mewtwo do his thing. I also didn't like how they said the remains of Mew. Like they just cast Mew off to the side. I was really hoping we would get like a glimpse, a photograph, anything cool.
Mew ran off and did his own thing and like disappeared. So everybody but Ash basically still thinks that Mew is literally not existent. Because through the video games and everything, when you're reading like the books, and I can't remember, it's like a haunted mansion or whatever that you go through. It's like some old Gateau place, and then you're reading the books for it, and it explains that they have like remnants of Mew. Not saying that Mew was dead, but they had like bits and pieces, and that's how Mewtwo was made. So I mean, it makes sense. The greater public doesn't know that Mew's still alive.
I just wanted a small image, like a top secret photograph of like, we've seen him flying away, or just anything.
You didn't see that pink blur after Mewtwo did the swap? You didn't see the pink blur?
A pink blur would have made me feel better, especially after watching that Ditto abomination.
Yeah, that was creepy. I was like, whoa, what is that?
That was awesome. And I was so excited for that because it just led you right back to that one Ditto in the cartoon that couldn't transform properly and always had the little circle Ditto eyes. That's exactly what that was. And I was so, like, I laughed so hard when I saw it. When she took her glasses off, I was like, oh, it's the Ditto from the cartoon. I mean, it wasn't that exact Ditto, but I laughed so hard.
Those beady eyes from hell.
Yeah.
It looked like one of my ex-girlfriends.
Oh, someone made a comment about the beady eyes in the movie, and I can't remember what it was now, but I laughed so hard when they made it.
I was dying and scared at the same time. Like, what the hell is going on? She took off her glasses. It was like, what the?
The second she took her glasses off, though, I knew she was a Ditto. I was like, it's Ditto!
How extra, though, was Ditto for transforming to all those dope Pokemon and, beating the hell out of people on top of the roof because it really had hands for everybody. And then when Tim is hanging on the side of the roof, he's like, all right, I'm gonna just turn into this Cubone, ironically, that they don't know nothing about. And just tap on your fingers.
You know what? I was expecting, because usually in scenes like that, you see like birds like pecking at people's hands or whatever. Like that's usually the trope, is like a bird's pecking at the fingers to make you let go. But I thought that was hilarious because they tied it back to the beginning. Tim getting jacked by that Cubone.
You're gonna die alone.
You're gonna be lonely forever.
They're doing too much, man. Doing too much.
Forever alone.
I feel like that punchline he did in the movie. It was like something about being lonely. It's like, yeah, I'm great when I'm lonely. And it was like awkward silence. Like,
oh no. She was like, oh, is this stuff that you do alone? And he's like, yeah, I do a lot of stuff alone at night or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, you, my dude, like.
Man,
Gia, and probably Ethan as well. You guys are a bit more familiar with some of the newer Pokemon than I am. Do you think the scaling was proper for what the hell is that damn turtle's name? The Tortilla or whatever?
I have no idea.
So
Torterra.
It does state that Torterra can get rather large. So I was not surprised by seeing that. And that was like a play off of them just being really, 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 really old Torterra. So.
Okay. I'll
altering environments and stuff. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't question it too much. In fact, it makes even more sense because when you look at the Pokemon, I mean, you see like a whole freaking forest on his back. But I thought it was more like maybe like Bulbasaur, like a smaller, scale forest.
They had small Torterra inside of the greenhouse when the Greninja were trying to escape to go after them. If I remember correctly, there were small Torterra.
Yeah, they did. There were smaller ones. They ran out the compound.
Yeah, I peeped that, but I didn't expect them to be quite that large. Like they're like the size of mini mountains.
I was surprised because I thought that was Mewtwo coming to jack them up, and it was really just Torterra moving because they got upset at Psyduck blasting everybody.
Yeah, I thought Psyduck had a thing doing with that. I'm like, yo, wake Psyduck up.
I hated rubbing your feet. You're trash. You're garbage. Yeah, get a headache, dude. But you won't get that headache. Freaking laughed.
Oh, he gave that man a headache real quick. And I don't know. I mean, I was fine with it, but I mean, overall, I can't say it's like one of the best movies I've ever seen. I'm not gonna overhype it up, but I will say that I feel like I got my money's worth. I think it was a good movie for what it was from start to finish. It was fun. I think the whole family can enjoy it, and I think more importantly, it's going to open up a lot of doors, like I said earlier, just in regards to more Pokemon stuff, more Nintendo stuff in general. So I think it was a necessary movie.
I feel like it was one of the better video game / anime based movies to come out probably ever that's live action, and that's saying a lot because I really liked like Rurouni Kenshin. I thought that was really well done. I thought Bleach was kind of well done. I was irritated with the story arcs and the liberties they took with like just completely changing things, but honestly, I was more excited after seeing this than seeing Endgame. And like Endgame wasn't bad. Like I liked Infinity War better. I know that's not like the popular opinion with some people. I just thought Endgame was kind of dragged out in some parts. It was good overall, but I was more excited after seeing Pokemon than seeing Endgame. Like I can barely remember half of what I saw in Endgame because I just didn't care about it that much.
So is this your last podcast?
No, it isn't. I'm not Steven. I'm not going to quit. I had to throw that one in there too. Sorry. Love you, Steven. Again. Sorry.
Damn, throwing shade.
Shots upon shots.
He's already dusted though. How are you gonna do that?
You gotta get the Infinity Stones in another universe, bring them back.
Just
and then blow us back out again.
I'm sure he'll return eventually. He'll be one of us again. Maybe.
We shall see. I'll have to put up another picture with like us or no Wolverine, and he's holding it and he's looking at the picture, and we'll put Steven in there.
Yo,
I'm gonna just start trolling him and tagging him. I did the one with him breaking apart in the dust of Infinity War. I think every 2 weeks I'll put up something else of Steven.
That's just hilarious. But yeah, like I mean, overall the writing for Endgame was much better than this. Because again, there's lots of cringy acting in the Pokemon movie, but I liked it better overall. I remember more about it, and the way my brain works, if I remember more about it, I enjoyed it more. So
yeah, Pokemon has like always been attached to me, so it's like seeing that I was like a little kid again. And the end parts almost got me. Like, yeah. I was just like, the whole time.
I thought that his real life acting was a little awkward in comparison to him being Pikachu. Like, I was expecting more, I don't know, life to him. He was just kind of like dull, like, hey kid.
Hey, son. Hey, here I am. Here's this ticket.
The vibe I got was
Believe it or not.
that he was just like tired. You know, like he just went through like a whole lot and he's stressed out and like he needs Tim to come around at this point because Tim is. It's not like he didn't reach out to Tim. He tried.
Well, he almost tried. He didn't get a chance to send that card out.
He did enough. That Tim was too excited about his grandmother's saltwater taffy and refused to leave.
No,
and he's a lame. He's a lame. I said it.
He was depressed because his mom died. Stop being a dick.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it.
And I don't feel bad. Everybody's got an expiration date. Doesn't mean that you don't get a chance to live your life.
Say that again. Say expiration again.
I said what I said. We don't look back.
Well, I guess this show now has hit its expiration point. So
We don't look back.
thank you all for watching and listening. Well, not really watching because this one's not a video, but thanks for listening.
You need necks to look back, and necks are for sheep. I'm a shark.
I just like how Mewtwo has the power to like reverse time and stuff. Like, how? Like, he was about to destroy people again.
Just made up some extra powers.
It's like, yo, he just dude just like Thanos. Like Thanos in the Pokemon world right now. Like, wow, Mewtwo, you're an ass.
Right? If they make a new game with Mewtwo doing body swaps, I'm gonna be pissed.
I would actually laugh. I mean, because then that means he has to be carrying just R like around a belt that he's gonna craft himself, like a little utility belt like Batman has. He's just gonna throw R at Pokemon and then like merge people with them.
Oprah and the shit.
I don't like you, Pokemon. I don't like you, Pokemon.
Right? Switches bodies with your trainer. I don't know how to use this body.
You do now.
I forgot all my moves.
Hurt myself in confusion. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it for the show. We had fun talking about this. Again, I'll have links for Ethan. Make sure you check out his channel. If you're new, subscribe. Head over to bodysnatchersmedia.com. Body Snatchers Media on Instagram, Twitter. I think on Twitter it's actually Body Snatchers PC because Twitter's like you can only have so many characters.
Yeah. And Instagrams is Body Snatchers Media. And you can always catch Kells on his Instagram where he's constantly posting about Escape from Tarkov. So
I hate y'all.
That was gonna be boring gamers are us. Have you thought about streaming Minesweep?
God. You're our age and you don't know what Minesweep is?
I know what Minesweep is. It took me a while and I just remember always losing in it.
Yeah, you could get a Minesweep hat. You know what? For all the work you do on this podcast, I may just have to send you one. Give me your address after this show. Big old Minesweep hat.
Get him a
Kids
hat
will
with
love it.
a flag on it.
See, I downloaded Final Fantasy 14, all right? That's something different.
Oh. And yet you haven't hit up me or Gia, who's been playing religiously.
I have no life.
Tonight's an update night, though, so tomorrow, instead of Tarkov, and you could just stream it.
Yeah, I did that. I forgot how long ago I did that, but yeah, it was a long time ago. But I did start playing Smash Bros, so that's good.
It came out in December.
Okay. See, I got nothing to say.
You guys want to see me stream the latest and greatest games 6 months later?
Ass whoop. I'm sorry, I cursed.
It's okay. I got folded too. But all right. Well, we're talking over. So all right, for real, we're leaving now. You guys have a good night.
Bye.
Pika. Oh, almost dropped my card.
Oh God, we're out of here.